You could not live with your own failure.
The Negro still is not free.
We were not brought here to be made citizens.
Doctors injecting our infants with the poison. Religion misunderstood as poison. Radio and TV poison. White Jesus poison.
Unconscionable. With Chuck Valentine
With Chuck
and
Valentine
With Chuck
and J.O.
Valentine and J.O.
Okay, cool.
3, 2, 1.
All right, man. Yo, first and foremost, I want to thank you for, putting the time for this interview. You are one of the most prolific producers in the game that a lot of people are not aware of. They don't know. You have a lot of credits for a lot of different albums that you've been on that, during my research that I actually found out about that I didn't know myself.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into it.
Hey, man, let's do it. Let's do it, Bugs.
First and foremost, go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? So, I'm Rush, a.k.a. Red Spyda.
Yes, sir. So, Red, where were you born and raised?
I was born in Paradise Island, Nassau, Bahamas. But I was raised in Miami, Florida. Aha.
Nah.
There's another gem. People didn't know that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did not know that. So your parents, where are your parents from?
Both parents is from Haiti.
Okay.
My father's from Port-au-Prince, and my mother's it's called St. Louis. Yeah.
Yes. As a matter of fact, that's where my father's from.
A word? That's probably the complexion. That's why we got the same complexion.
I just found that out last year after he passed on the 1st of October.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, and when you gotta put everything together for the funeral arrangements.
Yeah, that's when all the things you didn't know come up. Totally understand that.
Yeah. So you were raised in Miami, right?
Yeah. I was born in Bahamas, but I got down in Miami when I was like 6 months old. So that's why I never really claimed the thing. And you know how it was in the 80s. It was trying to leave Haiti. They wouldn't let Haitians, anybody from the diaspora come to the U.S. You feel me? So the pit stop was Bahamas. You feel me? Get the green card. That's what my parents were doing. You already know it. It's either that or the ships. Take a chance with the with the ocean. And,
right. Yeah. And that was a big risk.
A lot of people ain't make it.
Yeah. So what kind of student were you in high school?
High school. Let me tell you this, Bugs. Me and school didn't get along. I was forget high school, from after elementary school, from junior high all the way to high school. Terrible student. I had to go to summer school and ended up having to go to night school because there's something about being in the classroom, the template, the clock. It wasn't working for me. So I was always outside.
Wow.
Terrible student. And then growing up in Miami, oh, forget it. That's a whole nother story right there.
Yeah. Definitely. So I can gather you didn't do college at all.
Nah, but I'll tell you this briefly. I was in a church band growing up. So one of the members, he would let me, like when I was skipping school or whatever, I would go to his lab time because he was, ill bass player, like, musical prodigy, right? So I would go to the campus and it's called what's the name of this college? Dade North. It was a campus, right? On the north side. Because I'm from the north side. And I would go there and he's one of the first people to show me sequencing and music like outside of being in a band. You feel me? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my little brief stint with college, but no college.
But would you
But
say that was your introduction to music with the
Steve,
band?
well, yeah, growing up, anybody like I would say because I'm 1975, so I'm a 75 baby, right? So from that era, anything music based was the church, right? So in the church, especially Baptist church, my parents was Baptist. So Baptist church, there was the band or the choir, and then so we had the main band, but then they had like a teen version of that band, and I would be in that band, and that's how I got into like learning more than just playing the guitar and playing the bass at home.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, were there any other instruments beyond the guitar that you played?
Yeah. So I'm a lefty, so I started off playing a right-handed guitar upside down. So I play guitar, but I'm mainly a bass player, but I can play piano, of course, xylophones. I didn't get into the wind instruments because my pops was thinking I was trying to be a show off, and he was kind of getting pissed off because he's like, "Yo, why are you trying to learn everything?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And so we
Did
talking.
you master just one?
Okay, so you ever heard that saying, "The jack of all trades,
Yes, sir.
master of none"?
That's right.
That's they cut it off, but that's not the full saying.
Can you elaborate? What is the full saying?
Okay, so it says the jack of all trades, master of none, though oftentimes better than the master of one. Crazy, right? So a lot of people they'll hear it thinking jack of all trades, master of none, meaning if you try to learn everything, you'll learn nothing. But that's not the saying. The saying is saying the more you know, the more you learn. It's better than having just one skill set. So crazy, right?
Yeah. You
Yeah, man. So I was like, I I mastered I mastered the bass and the guitar. Once I realized everything is a system with the scales. Now I don't read. I know like the names of the notes, but most of it has been by ear. But I noticed everything has a system. So once I figured out the guitar system, I did the same thing with the piano. The scales, the notes, you know, um, and then from there I started realizing, okay, everything just has a pattern. You know what I mean? And then books is crazy because it goes even deeper than music. Everything. So like I could show, I'm getting ready to do some series where I kind of show how things mirror each other. But like you take a music program like you ever see these people online, right? They're always arguing about the DAW, the digital workstation. You use Pro Tools. I don't use this. I don't do that. All the DAWs do the same thing. Now the companies, they don't want me to say that, but they do have a primary function. But what if I told you that the DAW is similar to a program like Photoshop, and it's also similar to a video editing program. See
yeah,
the difference is instead of editing audio, you editing clips or you editing pictures, but they all have an interface.
that's right.
They all have the tools on the left or the right. You get me? And that's
Yeah.
so I started looking at it like that. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I just started mastering. Like I figure like if I pick up any instrument, I want to learn it fully and understand it, like so I can properly utilize it.
Excellent. So what influenced you to start making beats?
So in Miami, I was what's known as a remix a remix producer. So now, like, you probably rarely hear these terms because people don't talk about this stuff. But so in the '80s, it's bass music. It's bass. It's jazz was heavy too in Miami too, right? But it's bass. It's house, right? Not techno yet. More like you'll think like Euro. You know how Euro dance, like CNC Music Factory sound. So it's all these things, and so one of the band members had this Boss 660 rolling drum machine. So before I seen that drum machine, I thought everything was the drummer plays the beats, the drums, I'm on the bass, and then of course the keyboard was the new thing because it was like, ooh, we have this synthesizer that has all these sounds, but they still had like a digital sound. So one of my band members, he was just making beats on this Boss. This is like a Boss 660, right? I was like, yo, what is that? How are you doing all that? You feel me? So he started programming in it. From there, I started to really, really look at things differently. So we talking mid 80s. You feel what I'm saying? Like mid 80s. Even though now I can name you producers that was like, oh, I love this. I always like Teddy Riley and New Jack Swing and all that, but we never looked at it in depth until I, professionally started doing it. So yeah, it was just band members, friends, you know,
Okay.
that's what
Uh,
got me into it.
okay. So now you said mid 80s. At this point, you're 10.
Yeah, I was playing the bass though. I learned the bass when I was 7 years old.
So by 10 years old, you're being introduced to making beats. Dang.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. All right. So you
yeah.
pretty much answered my question.
Cause,
Okay.
cause look, Books, think about this, right? The Casio, everyone had a Casio keyboard.
Of course.
So
Of
now
course.
you got the little funny little sounds, but then
Yeah.
there's this section where they got beat patterns, the salsa, the bossa nova, the do get
Samba.
the do
Yep.
the samba.
Yep.
So those
Yep.
are the early little
Drum.
things. The
Yeah.
drum, exactly. You
Yeah.
know, so we
So
was
you like,
technically doing it.
okay. Okay. So did you like start with a team, or did you just start saying, you just said to yourself, you know what? This is what I'm going to focus on, and I'm going to start making beats professionally.
No, I had no dreams of being a producer and making beats and none of that stuff. Right?
So,
So
so how did everything culminate?
so it's the weirdest thing. Nothing else. I did like what I wanted to do in life, like professionally, right? I couldn't find the lane. You understand me? Like you remember that movie Boomerang, with Eddie Murphy?
Eddie Murphy, yes, yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
it's yo, it's one of my favorite movies because the character he played, right? You remember the part where he walks into the job, right? Forget Lady Eloise in the elevator. If you ever
Right.
watch the movie again, he walks in and it's a marketing. You get me? Space.
Marketing agency, yes.
Bingo. Everyone's throwing ideas out there, throwing ideas out there. So me, what I always and I still do it to this day, just through jingles now. I wanted to be a marketing advertising guru. You feel me? Because I come
Yeah,
up
yeah,
with
yeah.
ideas and
It's like
everything.
like at the end of 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. So music, of course, you go to church. We had to go to church. So then it was the next step. My dad played in the band. He's a guitar player. So it went from that to him forcing me to be in the band, right? So I don't get in
Okay,
trouble with the thugs or whatever that's going on.
the streets. Yep.
Yeah, so the music thing wasn't like, okay, this is what I want to do. It was just like, okay, I'm always around it. Now here's where it gets interesting. I used to skip, like I told you, I wasn't good at school, so I used to skip school and I would go to the music stores to kill time. What ends up happening is anytime there was a new keyboard, a new thing coming in, I'm just in there I'm not trying to learn it like that, but I'm just playing. And one of the store one of the store salesman guys used to always bother me about, oh, he got situation with Def Jam and this and that, and yo, you should come to the crib. Because he was a producer. That's what he was telling me. He was a producer. Hugo, that's his name. He's part of this crew called the Diaz Brothers, and they produce Pitbull and all this other stuff. It's crazy, right? But I used to joke and be like, well, if you're a big time producer, what the hell are you doing working at Sam Ash? You get me? You gotta, yo, Bugs, you gotta sell it to me, right?
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense. I'm like, bro, every time I come here, so I didn't take them serious, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, those were the things. I was always around people that, because I didn't take it serious. And here go the thing too, in the 80s. Being from Miami, right? With the exception of, you got Luke Records and Gloria Estefan, right? So it's a CNC Music Factory. So it's the underground stuff, but there was no we want to be in the music industry. That's not even a thought in that timeline. Like, no one was, that wasn't a thing. Because remember, even with like hip hop and like black music like that, there was no music industry really. Remember, hip hop was just, it was starting, but it was still barbecues, backyard. Like, you see when people be talking about all this platinum, this and that's not what it was back then. Like when Raw Bass and these guys was doing it, and Salt and Pepper and them, it was a new thing. And remember, the higher ups wasn't taking it serious.
Right.
Yeah,
right. They thought it was a fad that was gonna go away. It'll be gone in 2 or 3 years.
yeah,
They didn't want to invest any money into it.
exactly.
Okay.
But there's a turning point that got me into becoming a producer. There's a turning point.
Okay.
And
So at that turning point, who was your first artist that you got in the studio with that made you say to yourself, I'm on my way?
oh wow, that's a good one. Okay. So locally, right? So I was working with a crew that actually got signed. I finally listened to the guy at Sam Ash, and he introduced me to some people. So now we're like, we're into early 90s now, right? And I was messing around, but there was no gigs and that type of stuff. But there was a situation where it's this kid and this producer, they got signed for $500,000, right? And they put them up in a crib. They smoking all the weed they want. So at that point, Boogs, I'm a hired, like I'm treating myself like a hired keyboard player, a musician.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm not using the term producer and all this stuff yet. So they needed a keyboard player. So we go from there. You understand me? And from there, I'm still not seeing it, but that producer, he kept making me sit in front of the boards so I could watch, because he kept saying, no, you are a producer, you just don't know that you're a producer. Right? You understand? So the turning point was in 95. So we had a chance to get on the Nutty Professor soundtrack, right? And at that time, they exposed me to, I've never seen this stuff before. Like, so in 95, they had this big conference. Peter Thomas did this thing called How Can I Be Down, right?
Remember that.
You remember that, right? And the whole industry came down. He brought the whole industry down.
Right.
And it's yo, Books, it's the wildest thing. I'm seeing people that I see on TV, right? Teddy Riley is in one hotel, you get me? Jermaine Dupri's over here, you get me? The wildest experience for me was, I'm at a Mickey D's McDonald's, and Redman and Keith Murray is at the front of the line. They order.
Yeah.
And Redman is just spitting off the top. You get me? Like,
Yeah.
and this is he's just doing it like it's like doing your layups. Right?
Yeah.
And Keith Murray's now, you know how he used to do the thing with the arms, y'all Mr. Logical.
Yeah.
So, yo, Books, I'm looking like, oh shoot, this is kind of ill right here. This is real, like this,
yeah,
So I
yeah, yeah.
started. The thought was in my head like, maybe I could get in this music industry, right? For real, for real. You know, because I started. They say you got to be around it to understand it. People can talk all day and tell you the pros and cons, but the best experience is to be in it.
Right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
So
Right.
that was part of the turning point. But the funny part is, I was in the studio with I was in the studio locally, and I was messing with something on the keyboard. It wasn't even my session. And the client, it was like some local artist. Client asked me how much did I want for the beat. See, that's my first time hearing the word beat, right? You get it?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I said, what? For this? I said, no, I'm just messing around on the keyboard. I said, this ain't even my session or whatever. I'm just here because I was brought in to play the keys. And he said, but hey man, he's like, hey, whatever, man. How much you want for that right there? This and that. And he told me he paid me $1,500 for it. So I got paid $1,500 cash for something that didn't take me even 30 minutes to do. Just messing around. So I hollered at my homeboy. I said, hey man, I think I know what I'm gonna be doing. You understand me?
Straight up.
Because again, people don't understand like on the profession side. Making the music was one thing, but I didn't see how it was without any monetary gain. How is it like a serious business or whatever? You get me? And that's when I started to once I seen that you can make money, right, for something you love to do, books. Then I went ham, and locally in Miami, I got my name to ring out. I went because I was already in the clubs and the strip clubs, the regular clubs.
Yeah, yeah.
Growing up in school, you have all these sets. You have the nerds, the smart kids, the book clubs, the athletes, right? The street guys, the thugs, right? And then you got the regular cats. Oh, the pranksters. I can't forget the pranksters. So you got the pranksters. So I was the kid that knew everybody. Every school, that's because I used to skip, blah, 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 and hang out in the hallways and blah, blah, blah. So I took that same philosophy with the music industry. So locally, I got my name to ring out in Florida. And then once I realized it wasn't enough, I told my friends, hey, if we could do it in Florida, shit, let's see if we could do this in New York. You know what I'm saying? So I took that mentality to New York.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, when you came to New York, who's the first artist that you got on their album? Like your beat cleared and made the album.
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Fabulous is the first.
Fabulous. Okay.
Fabulous is the first New York placement that I got. Through a deal, I did a deal, but that was the first placement. It's a record called "Get Smart" on his first album. Yep.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the one with the Spanish girl cussing him out in the beginning.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
I heard it. I heard it. Yeah,
That's
it's
my
fly.
first. That's my
It's
first New York placement. Yep.
now. Didn't the power of a dollar? You have a track on that, right?
Nah, man. You know what's so funny? People think I do. So
That's not your track.
nah, man. Listen, so with Power of the Dollar, when I did my deal, right? I'm still in Miami at the time, right? And they sent me, they sent me three artists that was bubbling. So I did my deal in '98, by the way, right? So they sent me this kid, 50 Cent, right? It was another kid named FT. Fuck that.
Uh
Uh,
huh. I remember him from Philly, right?
no, that's Pretty Ugly from Pretty
Oh,
Ugly. PU.
okay.
PU is from
Yeah,
Philly. So you got
that's
Pretty
right.
Ugly. You got FT. Fuck that from Brooklyn. And Kenny Rugged and 50 Cent. So they sent me, and this is right when they was getting ready to promote How to Rock. But the first 50 Cent song that I heard was this song called "It's a Hit." Listen, if you never heard this, it's on Power of a Dollar. It's one of the only songs where If you play this for somebody right now, they wouldn't know that that's 50. Because he
Because
didn't.
he sounds different.
His voice, his
Delivery.
delivery, yeah. Pull up, it's a hit when you get a chance. Now the chorus, he sound like Mace. Stubbing of laces, something like that. It's like one of them singy songy choruses.
I remember it on a Who Kid mixtape.
Yeah, it's
I
called
wanna,
"It's a Hit," and Trackmasters was pretty much doing most of that project. So because the deal I had was through Sony, we were
okay.
getting Sony acts. So yeah, so they told me about 50. This is before he got shot. I heard "It's a Hit." I heard "It's a Hit," "How to Rob," and a few from that album. There was "It's the Money That Makes Shit Ugly." It's the money that So we heard that one, and then of course Ghetto Quran.
Of
Heard the Ghetto
course.
Quran joint. Yep, yep.
So, which artists or songs would you say had the most radio play that you?
Sheesh.
It's too many to mention.
Yeah, but it would have to be. You know what's so crazy? It would definitely be. It would be the 50 Cent stuff.
Okay.
Cause "Want to Get to Know You" still gets played. You know, some of the Lock stuff. I did the Good Love record for Chic Luch.
That's right.
That gets played a lot, and surprisingly, to me, because he's a Midwest artist, Twister. I got a song with Twister and Anthony Hamilton. We did over the Bill Withers "Lovely Day." That gets.
Uh-huh.
I be going certain places and there's that song just ringing up. I'm like, you know,
That's good.
yeah.
That's good. That's
Mm-hmm.
good. So now I see that you get a lot of credits, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
your name for some reason is on either the lyricist, musician, producer, composer. What are the difference between all of those different credits that you get on one album?
Okay. So basically, the easiest way to break this down, because I know it's one of them topics people get confused on, right? You're a composer if you're making music. Like, I'm not talking about the beat part. I'll get to the beats because that's where it kind of gets tricky. But
Okay.
remember, I'm a musician, so a lot of stuff I play the bass, the guitar, or whatever, the piano, the strings. But to simplify it, it's like this: you get your writer's share. So on the writer side, the person who writes the lyric, there's how you get lyric credit, and the person who composes the music gets composer credit. Now that's not producer credit.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Now producer credit is the person who's under the title of being the producer. And
Okay.
this is what a lot of when you see the debates of the guys who it's so many. When I see, like, I don't even talk about it no more because I don't want to piss people off. I know it's a sensitive era,
Yeah.
but you got people that's like, they make beats, right? And it's beats. I made the beat, so I'm the producer. And how I was taught was, you're not a producer if you can't cut a vocal. They beat that in my head. And now, to be fair, I don't want to generalize it to say it's hip hop, because hip hop is different. But how I was taught when I was in the studio, it's why the head producer had me sitting next to him and the engineer at the board during the recording process. Now watch this. I told you I started off as a programmer first, a remix engineer. Now, programmers, like, you got to know the difference between 4/4 time, 3/4 time. You get me? How to
Mm-hmm.
arrange.
The science.
You got to
The
know the
science.
science of it. And
Yeah.
a lot of the people that make the beats, they're really programmers. That's why they spend all that time locked in on making the beat shuffle, swing. You
On the
get it.
M60. Yeah.
The part that they miss is the artist. And I be shaking my head. I'm like, yo, why is there so many people that make, and these be dope beats they're making, but they rather put the focus on the beat and then cry about how they can't get a placement. I've only gotten placements because I've connected with the artists or I've had their A&R or manager. Anything that I've ever done, either I knew the artist, was in the studio with the artist, or I knew someone who knew the artist that could be like, no, get on Rush or Spyda's track. But and now on the lyric side of things, what a lot of people don't know is when I first did my deal, I was signed as an artist, singer, songwriter. So I be having ideas. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You know,
R&B. You did a track with Marie. Yeah, yeah, definitely. So I know you definitely do the R&B thing,
yes,
but I didn't know you sing.
I sing. Listen, you know the thing about creatives, right? One thing I learned, Bugs, is if you meet a producer, urban black producer, 9 times out of 10, they know how to rap or sing, and they know how to draw. They're not gonna tell
And
you this and draw. So
Andrew.
so I draw. I started off graffiti, tagging, characters, but then I started. Again, it's like when we talk about school, how you have all these different like sets, club. It's like the athlete. Most of the athletes they speak that language, but most producers are artists. Most songwriters are artists, but some probably didn't get the artist side to work, so they just was like, okay, they wrote some big records and decided, you know what, this works better for me, you know. So, but yeah, that's what I was doing.
That's big, man. Well, thanks for breaking that down for me, man.
No
Because
doubt, no doubt.
so if your name, not to get personal, but if your name is on multiple facets for that song, that means you got more points and
Yeah, and
bigger
percentages.
coming to yourself. Okay,
Yes.
got
So
got it.
the rule of thumb, I don't know if it's changed now, but the rule of thumb is whoever writes the chorus, which is the hook, is going to get 35%, right, of the publishing, and in the writing, unless they did a publishing deal, right? A verse is equivalent to 15%. The more
Okay,
people involved, it gets trimmed
Trump.
down, shrunk.
Yeah, yeah,
You,
yeah,
you get it, but yeah, it's the splits. If you go in there with the split sheets, that's how it goes. Now on the producing side, right? If you didn't use a sample,
yeah.
because if
Okay,
you use a sample that's unclearable,
right. It's
that
all
estate
rich.
you already know they're gonna eat the whole dang thing. Like that Marvin Gaye record I did, the for G Unit. The estate ate all of that. I was lucky to get like I got a nice little tiny little and I didn't want to use the sample. This was what's so crazy. We didn't need to use the sample, but
Okay.
I had to learn this, right? Artists that get married, we call it getting married to the beat. So they'll get
Yeah.
used to that beat and then they might not want those changes. Cause I'm like, no, I played that bass line. Do 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 do. That's all played, but once you hear that sample, when it gets
It's
to
a
love you,
rap. Yeah.
50
It's
sang on top of it, Joe. It didn't matter. It was like that's Marvin Gaye.
yeah, 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 yeah,
We
yeah,
we
yeah.
gonna take the lion's share of we gonna take the lion's share of this.
That's right. That's horrible.
What?
However,
Nah, yeah, I get it though. It's fair.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It's fair.
Because
They
if
put in the work. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Buzz.
no, as you were saying, if you created something originally and the new artist of today wants to use it, I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure you want that lion's share of that percentage of whatever they make.
Of course, that the estate has to get that. The estate got to basically, you feel me? Your kids. That's for them.
That's
That's
right.
why I get it. Like some will be cool. Some will be like, look, we want all the money, and I don't trip. So like a lot of things, Bugs, about me is again, it wasn't my goal to be in the music industry. So I have a total different perspective from people I see that take it serious, right? That be like for them, for me, this was fun. I was like, oh shoot, I could get. I'm doing something I know how to do for the fun of it, and I'm getting paid. Now, I did want to compete. Like I didn't get to like. One thing is I'm very competitive, right? And I didn't get to compete. That's the only thing. In the era where I was coming up, I wanted to compete with all of them. I wanted because I know I could bust their ass. You know what I'm saying, Bugs? But I didn't get to compete, and that's something I always look back and be like, damn, I had the wrong uh, network of people business wise. They didn't really understand urban culture. Even today, if you look at today's climate, right? And you'll get people that be, oh, the music sucks and this and that, or blah blah blah, or it's different. Well, the only thing is, it's ain't no competition going on.
Yeah.
You know, why do we watch sports? Why do we watch two teams go at it? It's something
Right.
about that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Music, especially hip hop, it's you feel me? It's a sport,
It is. It is.
and without see, I'll tell you personally, this would be a whole different topic about it. But from where I sit, it's a simple thing of too many voices. So my friends be like, "Yo, why ain't you online? And why you always got your comment section muted?" I said, "Because I don't want to hear everybody's opinion.
That's right.
It's too much noise.
That's
I
right.
it because what that do is, and it's vanity. Listen, Books, you don't think, right? The people who created the internet and all this other stuff, I don't think it was intended for what happened. Like the DJ, when they got the Technique 1200, the people who made the record player, they didn't think somebody was gonna take it and go it.
That's right.
It
That's
wasn't
right.
made for that. It was made to
Right.
drop the needle, and so the internet, or what they call social media, right? I'm sitting back and I'm like, it's madness. Because see, everyone's able to now share their input. And you know what they do, right? They project themselves on the artist. So the artist probably looking at it, my fan, my fan, my fan, right? Your fan, no, they're living through you to disparage who really, it's how they really, really feel.
That's right.
And the artist ain't gonna say nothing because the artist needs the fans. Behind the scenes, they'll be like, "Yo, these people are bugging," right? And
Mhm.
and I think when you have too many voices, like how it is now, it messes up how we interpret the challenge, the battle. Like the one last year with Drake and Kendrick, right? It was a dope battle, right? But it was, to me, too many people speaking on it before it even happened.
Half.
So
Yeah.
so so they'll oh, I heard such and such is about to drop a diss.
Y'all.
What do you think that this is gonna be? Like, nigga.
Just wait. Yeah.
wait
Yeah.
wait
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like the spoilers in the movie. Y'all are judging. They call it review bombing. You're bombing the movie off the trailer.
That's right.
So now you're gonna walk in. You get it, Bugs. You get it. Yeah.
Okay. So, what opportunities culminated out of being a producer, a musician, so on and so forth? Like, cause so you've got to live in New York,
Yeah.
live in LA,
Yeah.
live in Miami. Now you're back in Miami.
Yeah.
You ever lived anywhere else
I spent
about the music business?
I spent time in London. I really liked it. I didn't
Did
spend too
you?
much time, but I want to go back. But I spent time in London, and yeah, you get to travel. You get to meet different cultures, and you get to see how they interpret or appreciate music differently. The more you travel, the more you get to see how people accept or interpret music. I was able to get on like video games, right? So like I was on like one of the first Grand Theft Autos. You know what I mean? got a whole radio station. You know,
What
with
you mean? Like you did beats on it or songs with other
songs.
artists?
I got
Songs with
songs, man.
artists.
Yeah, like
Okay.
Royce is on there. Like Nature, Pretty Ugly was talking about. Yeah, shout out to Jonathan Schechter. Again, you meet people who are
Yeah.
working on things, and they be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, we like this. What are you doing with that?" And then from there, I was able to basically just it's almost like you roll that dice and let the chips fall where they may. So yeah, the video games, the the best one to me is like the film stuff, the TV and film. Like I really love doing like projects for TV and film because it's a total different approach and you know, not as chaotic.
For TV and film, do they give you the raw film before? Like you get to see it before you create the music for it? Or do
Yeah,
they
cuz
tell you we need something that sounds like this or we need something that sounds like that and then you just
yeah.
submit.
So you have the main film music point producer for that, right? That'll handle that. But now if you get that role, yeah, you get the footage, right? And you get to
Uh-huh.
see the scenes, and they'll tell you what type of emotion they like. They'll give you a rundown on feels, examples of how they want the energy um, of the film, the tone of it, pretty much. But now, see, again, that's where sound design and stuff like that come in. You know, but yeah, I love doing that type of stuff because it not just the freedom because now it's like you're not just like trimmed down to 3 minutes where you do
Right.
intro verse chorus. Now it's
Yeah.
like, oh shoot, there's a scene where somebody just opened the door and they thought they heard a no they thought they heard someone outside. So how do you make that convincing?
That's right. It needs to be suspenseful. Right. That's right. Yeah. Oh, man, now I don't mean to go backwards, but you didn't go to school for any of this, right? Like engineering,
No,
music, you didn't take lessons.
no lessons, no school. The
You
best
just
school is hanging around people that was doing it. In other words, some of them they did it, and I'm just there like, okay, all right, picking it up. So I got the school from people. I'll say that. Being in the studio, doing
so
those yeah,
you had mentors. Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
mentors. Yep, yep.
So who in your opinion is the biggest artist or entertainer you ever worked
Oh man, Eminem.
with?
M Eminem is. I mean, yeah, he's the biggest that I've ever worked with. I've been in the studio with a lot, but I never worked.
You worked with 52.
Yeah, 50s, of
Yeah.
course, but that's all the same, you know. But
That's right.
Eminem, I worked with Eminem way before 50. A lot of people don't know that. They think,
Oh,
yeah, they think it was 50 and then M. Nah, I gotta shout out Royce the 5'9". I'm in New York and Royce shows up for a session. I didn't know who he was. I was
okay.
there and he was waiting for somebody. While he was waiting, he's like, well, what do you do? Right? You understand? So me, I'm
Yeah.
downplaying yo books. I'm downplaying the whole thing. I said, "Oh yeah, I'm an R&B producer." I used to say that because I'm not a New Yorker at that time, and I didn't want to say I'm a a hip hop producer. And here's me still learning how to make hip hop in New York style. I have more of a West Coast, more Florida. You get me?
Down south.
Suave House, anything like from Tony Draper's camp,
Yeah, yeah,
Ghetto Boys. I was more, instrumentation, not sample based.
that's right.
So Royce asked me what do I do, and he seen me downplay, and he said, "Look, you ain't got to downplay it." He said, "Just play me something. Let me hear something." So he skipped the pleasantries, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I tried to pull the closest to whatever hip hop stuff to play. He said, "Yo, play whatever you have. Like I want to hear the weird stuff, right?" So
Mm-hmm.
I still didn't listen. I played him what I thought was a New York beat,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "Yo, this is dope. Play that again." and because it had the cuts in it. And he said, play that again. And he said, yo, my boy Marshall does this beat bopping thing, right? And he would be dope for this record. Now watch this. This is for me. I'm shell shocked. Marshall's Eminem.
Oh
He
wow.
calls Marshall, who's Eminem, right there in front of me, yo. He called Marshall. So he calls Eminem, and he says, "Yo, I got this." He said, "Because Detroit is known as Rock City, right?
Yeah.
That was my
Yeah.
second placement, but it was in New York. It was Detroit." He's like Rock City, Royce, 5 9, Slim, Shady. Come on, can't stop the hustle, Royce Nickel 9. And I'm like, that's how that song got done. I did not know him. He walked in the studio, asked me, "What do I have something while he's killing time?" Next thing you know, I got a single with Eminem and Royce the 5 9, debuting on 106 in Park. Go to the Foot Locker stores. Every Foot Locker store I'm going, I'm seeing the video. I'm seeing the record. So that was, yeah, Bugs. That was M would be technically the biggest. Now Who Kid put me on the phone with Michael Jackson. We did, but again, this was during the time in Bahrain when he was in Bahrain or whatever, and it was a track that I did that I was trying to get for the R&B artist Mario for his second album. This before Neo wrote the uh is it you should let me love you. So remember Mario had the braids and he was doing the teen just a friend thing. So I had this concept. Um, I called it Teen Wolf, like the movie Teen Wolf. So I did this whole thing, and it was going to be. I wanted to take something similar to like the Thriller concept with the Teen Wolf thing, and it was getting close to Halloween time. The A&R didn't get it.
They
y'all
were
played,
clueless.
y'all
They
played
were,
the track. What's the guy? Peter. His name was Peter Edge. My lawyer hooked me up with him. He came to the studio. Hey, no doubt, came to the studio, played us the tracks, and he didn't get it. But see, and this is something you producers got to understand too, right? Always get all of the information before you take the meeting. I should have, when I look back now in hindsight, I should have asked Peter to play me the new Mario records that they have right now, so I could see the direction of the album. I didn't do that. That was the mistake I made. So I played my stuff first, and it didn't match the direction. But anyway, Who Kid calls me, and I learned a long time ago to not take Who Kid serious. Before I used to be like, whatever. This guy called me, yo, I got Samuel Jackson at the studio, whatever. I got dot at the studio, whatever. And I'll go there, always being proven wrong. He called me with Michael Jackson. He said, yo, I got Michael Jackson. Yo, bro, he's going crazy. You know Who Kid told, yo, bro, Mike's going crazy over the Wolf record, the Teen Wolf record. He just wants you to make some changes. Mike's on the phone, deep voice, right? Hey, Who Kid was making him laugh a lot too, but he's like, hey, yeah, he said he got the record because I was using these guitars that sound like remember that it was this rock song called Jesse's Girl, like that muted guitar type sound. Yeah, right. So you remember the intro to Jesse's Girl? Do 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 do. It's light with the muted guitars.
uh-huh.
So Mike was like, he said, yo, he just needs some more. Mike would start beat bopping and start snapping and be like, I wanted to attack. So Bugs, I'm just here go me just shout. I'm on the phone like, oh, I'm on the phone with Mike. And the world wouldn't know none of these things because
Right.
there's so much to go back to the thing you asked about the music industry. You meet so much people that you would have never thought. You be in places you would have never thought. And it's why I always I took this one rule of thumb from this other producer I seen do an interview, Bryce Wilson from Groove Theory. And he said he learned never to fall for your own hype. In other words, don't get over yourself, like
That's
above yourself. And
that's
I
right.
always was like, you know what? Yeah, because you could get tripped up. So like I make it a thing publicly. I mean, you don't ever see me do anything publicly anyway, but
Right.
because I look at it like, you know what, man, the stuff we doing, man, we getting paid to do what we like to do, you know, that we already know how
Okay.
to do. So you ain't finna catch me online about complaining and the game, this and that, the game. Like everybody's complaining about AI right now, right? I seen that, and it's some books, it's some good points, but again, I say it says a lot about your confidence level, right? Because from where I sit, I haven't seen anything threatening with AI. All I'm seeing is a bunch of silly cartoons, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all scared of that? They still got to figure out who they're gonna distribute and sell that thing to. You don't
That's
even know
right.
what it's for, but
That's right.
you're getting caught up in the noise. You know the books, they all get gaffled. They get caught up in the noise. Oh, it's not fair. The AI is taking over.
Yeah.
Y'all never
Now,
seen Star Trek?
yeah, exactly. Now Joe Rogan, you know Joe Rogan, right?
Yeah.
Well, he is flabbergasted over this AI generated 50 Cent Many Men.
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
No, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it.
Oh, it's bad, yo. I'm telling you,
Oh,
it's
it's
off the
terrible?
yeah, it's
Well, yeah.
off the chain.
But
And it
Bugs.
made from I think the 60s or the 70s.
Okay. Oh, they did an old school. I see what you're saying. But Bugs, see, this is the point I'm making though, right? They're they're putting too much stock into the bullshit of it.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
How is that different from when all those cartoon 2D guys back in the days were drawing their versions? You remember back then? They would draw their version or try to do a parody video and send
Right.
it
That's right.
to 50 and everybody, hopefully to get a look. They do it all day. Look, I'll give you one. Top of the year, 2025, right? Every artist page, whether they was on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, they all
Uh-huh.
did what? They all had that stupid cartoon, that AI cartoon version of themselves. Am I lying? Even Who Kid had one. They all did it. So my whole thing is it's cherry picking.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Because again, you're telling, well, me, I won't say me personally. When I hear people say stuff, I'll be like, if that's a threat, then you shouldn't be doing this because I personally have yet to see anything threatening that'll make me worried about my career in AI creatively. So, case in point, all of the AI generated models, you can tell that shit is a generated model.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
sing that
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And if those they're not using black singers, right? Or I've yet to hear. Look, Beanie Siegel's utilized it the right way. You see my point? Watch this, and this is how you got to always look at the pros and cons. Beanie voice is messed up, and he can no longer. He utilized the tool, the AI, to train how he used to sound, so he can cut records again. See, I look at
Nice.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
DLC will probably do something like that. And then here's a gem I'll throw out. And we can leave the AI talk. I'm like, with these AI people, it has to do with how you think. It's why I said like boomerang marketing. Me, I would tell the artists, look, make an AI version of yourself, right?
Yep.
As an artist, cut new
Yep.
records and sign another deal. So now you'll have a deal as a physical person.
Yep.
And then now you can have your own AI of yourself. In other words, my thing is beat them to the punch. But since when did we ever just bow down to when they make a system? Like I said, when the turntables was made, we took it and decided, no, this is how we gonna rock with it. So I would like to hear more of the conversation. It don't matter. This game that we in right now, Boogs, everybody got their pistol out. They waiting to have an argument or a gunfight with you. Even with what I'm saying, trust me, it's probably cats rubbing their fingers. Yeah, Somebody Sam. How dare Spyda say what he's saying? They gonna miss the whole thing. It's gonna always go above their head.
Yep.
So, you
You're
know?
right about that. Yep.
Yeah, man.
Now, speaking on that, with the transition from tapes to records to CDs to now streaming, what is your thoughts about streaming now?
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream, right?
Yeah.
Um, everything comes down to it circles right back to money. The bank. It's called a bank. Riverbank. You understand what I'm trying to say? Income and money. My thoughts is wherever it's gonna go, I want to be ready for it, so I'm not stuck looking stupid 10 years from now. When I had my studio in New York, right, there was no such thing as making the beats on the laptops. Till this one kid comes in there with a laptop and asks me for an auxiliary cable, right? I got MIDI. I'm thinking he's gonna rent equipment, all the stuff. He said, "Nah, man, all I need is an auxiliary." So before that, remember, I'm thinking you gotta dump the beat onto Pro Tools, and that's how he didn't have to do dissect
Mm-hmm.
it. He said, "Nope, I don't need none of your equipment. I don't even need your mixing board. I just need an auxiliary cable to play what I got on this laptop on your speakers." And that was the session, books. You know
That'll
what
do
I
it.
did afterwards? I started to sell all my equipment. My friends thought I was crazy. Dude, that same year, there was helicopters airlifting SSL boards out of all the major studios in New York City. Remember? Studios was shutting down. You see?
Yep.
It
Yep.
was all shutting down. So that's my thoughts with streaming, with where it's at. Um, the thing that pisses me off is the people who have, to me, a successful career are the
Mm-hmm.
ones complaining. Like,
Yeah.
I won't name, me. I don't want that attention. But it's the weirdest thing for me to see. Yo, you got artists and producers who have done things that the average person's not gonna be able to do, especially now. And they're the ones. Oh, it's not fair. What?
Right.
What's not
Well,
fair?
they want their percentage
Well,
because
right. They want their
when you
percentage.
see, you used to receive a particular percentage of it,
Yes.
but now your music is being streamed 1 billion times
Yeah.
worldwide,
Yeah.
and you not know where it's being streamed at.
But how does that differ from the old ways where
The pirating and
no,
bootlegging.
no, no, not the pirating. I'm saying, what was the old model in the music business? How were the deals structured? I'm saying, since I've been in the music industry, the deals were never structured in anyone's favor unless their value was up. The average deal back then in the 80s, the 90s, we're not gonna go to the 70s. The average deal, you had to give up your publisher, right? The average
Basically,
deal, they're taking 50% of the publisher, right? You're not going to own the masters. This is the average
no.
deal.
All right.
So the only way to combat that back then, it's no different now, was unless you had the illegal money, you was doing the brown paper bag, and you was doing the street hustle, got your name up to where your region, wherever you was from, that they was forced to have to do a deal. Like, I remember when Dino did the deal, Dino flew down to go do the deal with Cash Money and them. But Cash Money and them did all the work already that Universal had to meet Slim and Baby. You get me?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So
Yeah.
so to take that to your question with the streaming, what I'm saying is, in business, I've never seen it to where the person investing the money or putting up the money says, "I'm going to give equal share." I've never seen it. I've always seen, okay, yeah, you believe in yourself, you're talented, blah blah blah, right? People need to study Nelly, right? Nelly did not he didn't have $1 million advance, right? But he had one song, Balloon Up. What was it? The Now Now Baby record.
Yep.
So that dang song ballooned up to 9-10 million sales. To where now, right, you made the company back, what's that, an 800% profit return? Right, so Books, I'm a realist. I'm not going to be one of these guys who sit there, like I said, on the internet crying about I ain't got nothing to do with none of that stuff. I didn't create these platforms. I have a website that I'm working on. I've had it for 20 years. I'm still trying to get the splash page up. So you see the point I'm making? I know, right? But I'm saying these people, they're crying and crying and crying and crying about things that they have no control over. And I don't want to be on the soapbox with them. I rather tell the people who's listening to this interview, listening to what I think, man, you got to get in, right, where you fit in. But I will say this, here's the most important part. Your lawyer. I was in a jacked up deal, right? Everybody who was in that deal, you know what they was doing? Crying and complaining. And you know what I did? I lawyered up, won the case, got back everything I was owed. Never talked about it publicly, never said anything. That's business. That's business. With streaming right now, things are going to continue to change. Like you mentioned, remember Napster and the pirating thing back then, and the downloads. Shit, when the MP3 came, listen, when things turn to MP3s and no longer physical, I was like, oh, I got to switch up the way I think. I got to figure out a new way to make money.
It was getting digital. Yeah.
You have to. But now it goes, Bugs. This circles back to the one point that I'm going to keep harping. How confident are you in your product? Because if your shit is dope, right, and you have the right team to push it, it's gonna work. I like, you know who I like on the business side. He reminds me of what Draper was doing back in the day, Sonny Draper. Yo Gotti's label, Memphis based. I think it's working because he's focusing. He has a focal point. Memphis artists, Memphis culture. You get me? And he seems to be. It reminds me of how things were done. So he's one of the few labels or people who have a label that I could name that ain't complaining. The artists are prospering, right?
Yeah.
They working with what they got. You understand what I'm trying to say? So that's my point of view on it.
Okay. Cool. So you worked with 50 Cent, Eminem, Crystal 5'9", Young Buck, Sheik Luch, Jada Kiss, Ghostface, Amory, or you pronounce it Amory.
Yeah, Amory.
Yeah,
Amory.
the R&B artist.
Yeah.
You work with Mario too?
No, I submitted for him, but I never worked with Mario.
Oh, okay.
Joe, Anthony
Jackson,
Hamilton.
the Michael Jackson song, was that ever come to fruition?
Who kid got it? Who kid got that?
It was never been released?
No. Remember Mike passed
interview with Who Kid.
Yeah, you gotta get that. You gotta get that one. Okay. Mike passed away shortly after.
Yeah. Damn,
hey, I gotta mention Miami home team love, Trick Daddy.
Yes, sir. I was gonna mention.
And I'm on Trina's first album too, with Pam from Total. She was on Total. Yeah. Song called Take Me. Yeah.
Okay. And she did the R&B.
Yeah, she did the chorus.
Okay. Yeah. Man, I gotta look that. What's the name of that song?
It's called Take Me.
Take Me? Okay, I gotta look that one up. Okay. Yeah.
You'll recognize as soon as you hear the chorus, you'll that's Pam from from Total.
Yeah. I'm really feeling Stick Up Kids on Sheik Luch.
Oh yeah. Brrr, stick 'em. Ha, stick 'em. Shout out to Sheik.
That beat hard, son.
Yeah, man. That was I think Ghostface is on that one.
Yes, he is. Yes, he
Ghost is on that one.
Yeah. It's hard. And I didn't even know about the Woo Block Woo
Yeah.
and locks connecting like that?
Well, cause see, in the beginning, early on, again, this is before G-Unit stuff. When I was doing the tapes with Who Kid and Stretch Armstrong, I was doing the beats for the locks.
Wow.
So I got Beanie Siegel, like tracks with Beanie Siegel, like track. What anybody on the underground? Here's the funniest thing. I got a song. It didn't come out because this was under Stretch Armstrong with Joel Santana when he first came out. There's a
Oh
song
my.
I did for Mad Skills called "Do It Real Big," and Joel's is freestyle. I'll send it to you. Joel Santana's freestyling too. Like when I got to New York, I got a whole series with Mobb Deep, Prodigy, Littles was on the record. We did this song called "Burn Something." It's weird. A lot of the stuff that I did, Books, before the 50 and M thing, it was underground.
That's right.
So I actually got to work with more people underground than I did mainstream. Yeah,
Commercial.
yeah. So
Okay, cool, man. So, are you working on any projects right now you want to share?
I'm working on my project. Yes, my project. I've been working on it for a minute now. No excuses. My team is like, yo, Jesus Christ, put out the project. So it's I can tell you the title is called HIPS, which is an acronym for hiding in plain sight. So yes, there's gonna be a red Spyda project. I've been focusing just on Spyda these days. And then I'm gonna for round like I'll call it like 2.0, 3.0. Like I went to London, like I said, I got to work with a few artists out there, get to learn that culture. I've just been on this time learning. So like what you're talking about with the streaming and all this stuff. So I've just been learning all this stuff. I have
Right.
I have my company Spyda Vision, which is gonna be a lot of graphics, like VFX type stuff,
Yes, yes,
CGI. Yeah.
yes. And I want to be on that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So these things are in the work, but I am gonna drop something. I want to say if not by Christmas, definitely before spring of by spring of 2026. Yeah. So I'm gonna populate. But see, I'm trying to have like the stuff I've been doing is light-hearted humor, upbeat, fun. It's gonna be some like some hard joints too, but I'm trying to have fun. I grew up listening to people like Positive K. I like stuff
That's right.
like that. Digital Underground. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Like I
Tupac before Suge.
too right. I just think everything just got way too serious and the focus. I think they put too much focus on the seriousness. And I'm
Right.
like, wait a minute, there's another part of hip hop too that's not talked about. Like the themes. You feel me? The competition. Like, get out of here with the like listen, Books. I think they need to throw away favorites. They need to throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
Um to have a favorite is whack to me because it's used as so now say someone asks you who's your favorite artist, right?
Yeah.
Looks,
Well, who's your top five?
it's ridiculous. And
It's too.
I
It's
always
many.
say in regards to what? What are we talking about? Because again, once they do that played out questionnaire about who's your top five and blah blah blah, all this, right? It's played out. Once they do that, they could now, and it's like the media can do this, could now keep running these same tired ass comparisons. So like they wanna they couldn't do it with Kane and Rakim because Kane and them never publicly did anything. So they was trying to force that though, trying to force who do you like, Rakim or Kane, so they can see who could get disparaged the most.
That's right.
Now,
Right.
when it was competition,
Yeah.
it was fun. It wasn't so serious. But now it's just to the point where, yo, you got guys still, right, holding on to old battles
Yeah.
to use as talking points. I'm like, y'all do realize that shit was like 35 years
Yeah.
ago?
Yeah,
These
yeah.
people don't care about that stuff. So I think favorites, top five, that convo is a dated concept, and I think it kills the space for us to progress because what's the fun in that? Okay, boom, you got it. Here's the top five. You're telling me that these five people are the only people that matter for the rest of time?
Which
It's
is
just dumb. Yo,
yo,
saying bugs.
it's unconscionable.
It's just yeah. What's the fun in that? You're telling me okay, so now we picking these five people. So now this is, and then games like one gotta go. Nah,
I
none
know
gotta go.
I can't stand those
Like,
games.
get out
Yeah,
of here, man. Like you can't have one without the other, man. Like it's and because of that, Bugs, I'm telling you, these kids are scared to compete
yeah, yeah,
because they
yeah.
don't want to be disparaged and ran through the mud like how it's being done.
Right, right, right.
You know?
Or they don't want their careers becoming ending.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
same way LL Cool J completely destroyed
Cannabis.
Canada.
Cannabis. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just went off the band. He's gone.
Sheesh, man.
Okay, well, Red Spider, it's been a pleasure. I really
Woo-hoo.
appreciate it.
No doubt,
How can
Bugs.
people find you? How can people find you?
Hey, man. What was that thing? Look for the bat symbol. They're gonna see the spider symbol anywhere, man. Like it's gonna be everywhere. But for now, I have an Instagram, red red. Spyda. Content's coming. I'm gonna be putting out a newsletter. Subscribe to the newsletter because everything that I got going on, it's gonna be a monthly newsletter. But yeah, you could go to red.spider. Um, at red.spider hashtag. I think that's what it is. And then the email redspider, redspyda at outlook.com. That's my email, right? And that's it.
Cool, man. Yo, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you for taking your time out.
No doubt,
And
Books.
yes, sir.
Appreciate it, man.
All
Look
right,
out for the
you welcome.
pot. I'm gonna send you something soon. All right. Always, always. Peace.
Peace.